back. June 19th is a special day in the history of the United States. Today is a holiday that commemorates the emancipation of enslaved people in the U.S. To celebrate, there are several activities happening in the Nashville area that are free to the public. But right now, we're here with David Ewing to learn more about Juneteenth and its impact right here on Tennessee. We love seeing you, David, and of course, we love a history lesson.
Right, and it's great to see you actually on Juneteenth. So yes. Juneteenth has a really interesting history. It was celebrated because in 1865, the Civil War ends in actually April of 1865, but in Galveston, Texas, there was a community of enslaved, or actually they were formerly enslaved, and they didn't know the Civil War had ended. And so they were free, but months and months later, it wasn't until June 19th, when General Granger came to that community and announced to them that the Civil War is over, the North won, and they have their freedom. And so the very next year, that community in Texas celebrated Jubilee Day. And actually the word Jubilee is in the Bible. It's when the enslaved people get their freedom. And that's the same biblical quote that inspired the name of the Fisk Jubilee Singers. Oh. That's how they got their name too, because all the original Fisk Jubilee Singers were enslaved too.
Oh, wow. And look, and there's your Tennessee connection right
Yes.
there. Well, I know your family's history runs deep here in Nashville. Share a little bit of their story. We have some incredible pictures too.
Right. So my great-great-grandfather, Prince Albert Ewing, and his twin brother, Taylor Ewing, were on the Overton Plantation Travelers Rest. That's Prince Albert. And they were born in 1849. Interestingly enough, they were named after the most powerful people in the world. Prince Albert was named after Prince Albert, who was on the throne, and Taylor, who was there, was named after Zachary Taylor, who was president of the United States. And Taylor escaped in 1862 and actually went to Fort Negley. Since Nashville was an occupied city during the Civil War by the Union Army, if you made it to the Union Army lines and where Fort Negley was, you got your freedom. So that was Taylor's Juneteenth, that he literally made it to where Fort Negley is, was one of the many African Americans that helped build Fort Negley, actually. And you know, he talked about it in an interview later, but that was his Juneteenth. And of course, he was reunited with his brother, who became the first black lawyer in Nashville in 1871. And Taylor later became a lawyer too in 1886. And they were both educated at Fisk University, practiced law together. But they had a very interesting Juneteenth story that, you know, they got their freedom. They were able to read and write before emancipation, and the Overton sent Prince Albert to Fisk University, where he was one of their first graduates after emancipation.
Wow, incredible. You're such a wealth of knowledge. I'm just fascinated by how much you know and inspired to learn more about my family and those photos. Wow, incredible. Speaking of Fort Negley, I know that there is a celebration, a big celebration. We had them on the other day talking about it happening this evening.
Yeah, I mean, go to Fort Negley. It's one of our great city parks. It's free. Of course, it's the largest inland Civil War fort in the United States. And we're putting on a big celebration tonight. The mayor's going to be there, all sorts of music and artists and poets, and it's just going to be a fun, you know, celebrating. They've been doing it for many, many years now, and of course, fireworks after 9. And so Juneteenth is a holiday for everybody because we celebrate freedom, we celebrate happiness, and just kind of looking forward to the future. If you were born enslaved, you probably thought that that would be your lot the rest of your life, and your children and your grandchildren, but people got their freedom and they had a whole different perspective.
I know there's going to be about 20 food trucks out there today. There's also going to be some reenactments going on out there. What would you say to someone who thinks, you know, maybe they don't belong to go?
No, it's just like going to any music festival, or if you like to go to the New Year's event that the CVC puts on, or the 4th of July event, you go for the entertainment. You're not necessarily there to celebrate New Year's Eve or 4th of July per se. You're going there for the music or the fireworks, and so this is just a fun event. And if you've never been to Fort Negley, go and just see kind of all the people there at night, and it's like a little block party for Wedgwood, Houston. Wedgwood, Houston has really grown up. You know, the Soho houses over there, Bastion's over there, a lot of new apartments are over there, businesses are over there, AJ Capital, the American Academy of Country Music's over there. So, you know, now that area is kind of a popular place to go.
It'll be a good time. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
David, for sharing with us. Always good to see you.
And happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth. David does it all. For more quick history lessons and to see cool photos around the Nashville area, check out his Instagram at the Nashville I Wish I Knew.